Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video. I am so excited to talk about this topic today, but first, I have to play some audio for you guys. Let me play some audio and then we'll get started.
The ghetto. The ghetto. The ghetto. Kenya, if you got a dog in there, you better put it up.
Oh, oh boy. Okay, so today's video probably go for about a half an hour today in the live stream. Today, I want to talk about two different things. Number one, I want to actually talk about the response of Lizzo's fans to her weight loss. And then I also want to talk about something called the health ghetto. So I'm going to talk about the health ghetto first, and then I'm going to talk about Lizzo specifically and the response from her critics and her fans. You really can't win for losing in this day and age, which is why I've always been an advocate for women, particularly doing what is best for their health and their mind and their soul and their body, not being dictated by what society or what other people think. Because whether you're skinny or fat, people are going to hate on you. And so it's really, really important to just be comfortable in your own skin. But let's talk about the health ghetto because Lizzo has escaped the health ghetto, so it seems. And that is something to be praised and admired. So I want to talk about that first. What is the health ghetto? It's a fun name to talk about the mindset that you're in when you have been overweight for a long time, when you've gotten a lot of praise for being overweight for the long time, when you've made lots of money for being overweight for a long time. That is the health ghetto. Now let's think about like actual people living in poverty. When I was a teacher, I used to work in, a lot of low income neighborhoods. And I think there's a difference between like low income and ghettos. Um, Low income neighborhoods can be like relatively safe. Ghettos tend to not be. So I'm going to talk about that for a second so I can make the parallel for you guys between what happens when you're trying to lose weight and what happens when you're trying to pull yourself, so to speak, out of poverty. So when you're in a poverty stricken area with a lot of crime, with a lot of violence, that is a dangerous place, you develop number one, you develop an affinity and you develop a sensitivity, a lack of sensitivity to that. So that becomes your norm. The first thing you have to do in order to move out of poverty, in order to leave ghettos, like truly, is you actually have to envision it in your mind what your life will look like. So it all starts up here. You have to think there's more for me outside of this. There's more to life outside of this neighborhood that I'm in. There's more to life than the violence and having to watch my back every 5 minutes. There's more to life than potentially being shot. There's more to life than drugs, nightlife, all of that. There's more to life than that. So that's the first thing. The second thing you have to do is you have to believe that you can actually achieve it. And this is all in your mind. This is like before you even go out there and actually do it. You have to believe that you can actually achieve it. So you have to think to yourself, can I actually do what I want to do? Can I actually achieve that goal of leaving? Can I actually achieve that goal? What does that look like for me? And then you have to convince yourself that it's possible. Okay. The third thing that happens is, and this is where it gets really tough, is that there are a lot of voices in your ear that are telling you that number one, this is the easy way to go and this is the better way to go, meaning just stay where you are, do what we've always done. We know how this life works. We know how to make money. We know how to survive here. If you go out there, you may not make it because I don't know if we have the tools to help you. So your community, your family, your friends might be saying, hey, you're trying to do something that we know nothing about. It's scary. We don't think it's possible. We don't know how to support you in that. In fact, we can't support you in that. So a lot of times you find yourself in these situations. A lot of my students would find themselves in these situations where even though they wanted to leave, even though they wanted to change, the pressure back home was too much. The pressure from their families and the neighborhood was too much. And the feeling of fear was too much. There is a massive fear that comes when you're trying to change your life, like from poverty into wealth. There's a massive fear because no one else has done it before. You don't have anybody to look at, and it feels very safe to stay where you are. So there is a health ghetto in the same sense. Let me explain to you guys what the health ghetto is. And it has nothing to do with race or anything like this. Nothing to do with that. The health ghetto is everybody that looks like you appreciates and values this part of you. We can use you, we can abuse you, we can control you. And hey, the benefit is you're making a ton of money. We don't care if we won't tell you that you're unhealthy. We won't tell you that you're dying. We will simply keep you stuck where you are. We will simply continue to have the same mindset, help you have the same mindset that got you here, and try and keep you here. So if you guys notice with Lizzo, she's been trying to lose weight for years. I remember her first post about this in 2020. And she was like, I did a detox and I'm still fat. That was like one of her posts. I did a detox and I'm still fat. So she's been working on this for years. She wasn't able to get out of the health ghetto because there was a lot of things pulling her back and keeping her back where she was. Namely, you guys, money. Namely, the people who were like, oh, you're so inspiring, you're so amazing. Code word for don't change or we'll leave you. That's the same thing that happens when you try and change your life just on a regular tip. The same thing happens. People will say, "Oh, no, you're so great the way you are. Why would you ever want to do that?" I remember when I wanted to leave to Korea and go move to Korea. Why would you ever do that? That's so foolish. No, like that's people who have life experiences are some of the most well-rounded, well-educated, entrepreneurial, successful people in the world, people who take risks. Now, I'm not saying take weird risks, unnecessary risks, but she had the whole world essentially. Now, she has some haters, but she had the whole world telling her, you're an icon for being overweight. You're an icon for telling women to love their bodies as they are, for promoting disease, because that's what, when you're that large, that's actually disease. It's not health. And there's really no way around it. You can't pretend like that's health, right? So for 5 years, Lizzo battled the health ghetto, which was don't listen to everybody else. You're making millions of dollars. You have money. You have money. These people who are talking about your weight don't have money. And she raked in the cash on this image. In the same way, you guys, that people who make money in illegal ways in crime-ridden neighborhoods rake in the cash easily. That's easy money. It's easy money for Lizzo to say, you know what? Let me just keep eating. I get to show up to a concert in anything I want to wear. I become this character because we're gonna analyze her post in a second. She became this character that gained her millions and millions of dollars, and she goes, "Oh, I can do that." But you know what it takes to become the real Lizzo, the Lizzo that is not hiding behind her fat suit? That takes a different kind of mentality. And that's actually the kind of mentality that it takes for you to lose weight. If you're actually big, you like, and I mean, Lizzo is like 100 pounds overweight, maybe even more. She was, okay? She looks decently healthy here. She was like 100 pounds overweight. It takes a lot mentally to show up differently because this is a lot of insecurity. This is a lot of fear. This is a lot of trauma. This is a lot of masking. This is a lot of putting on of a character. So it takes a lot to actually change your mindset around health and to say, you know what? I'm not going to be trapped by the health ghetto that says, you good girl, you're good girl. Keep be, even though deep down inside you don't feel good. Deep down inside, you know what? I have all this money in the world. I could literally hire the best therapists, the best coaches, the best trainers, the best chefs, and I could actually change my life. And that might mean that I lose millions of followers because they were following me because I was overweight and killing myself. That's the truth. That is the difficulty of leaving the health ghetto, which says, no, girl, come on, stay. Keep doing what you're doing. We don't care that you're killing yourself as long as you make us feel good about ourselves. Because remember, when you do the right thing and there's a bunch of people watching you for doing the wrong thing, they will attack you for doing the right thing. Your own mind will attack you for doing the right thing, because that means Lizzo for 5 years battled her weight. I don't care if she did it with Ozempic or not, because that's what some people in the comments were saying. We're going to read those. But for 5 years, she battled this and she finally said, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to deal with this weight. I don't want to, because I know her knees hurt. I know her back hurt. I know she was out of breath on that stage trying to sing and dance. I know she was having trouble sleeping with all of that extra weight around her. I know. But she got on stage every day for people for millions of dollars to tell them that it was okay. And she finally said, you know what? I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think I can handle it. And I'm willing to give up millions and millions of dollars. I'm willing to give up the comfort of being myself to leave the health ghetto. And let's look at what some of her, the people, how some of the people responded. So I gotta find this. I gotta find my page, y'all. Okay. So first, she makes this post. This was 5 days ago. It's the end of a very special era. This album was my strut back into society after a hard 2020 and 2021. I wanted to help people turn up the music, turn down the lights, and get a feeling they'll be all right. I wanted to remind people of how they may be broken, but still perfect in their own way. 12 songs, 68 shows, 14 countries, 3 continents, and nearly a million voices later, we saw our specialness. We got through it together. I'm proud of the accolades, the Grammys, the Emmys, the platinum plaque, but I'm most proud of the legacy I'm leaving this world. Lyrics that uplift you, music with real instruments. Come on now. I love that. A reminder to dance, and it's okay to cry, and high vibrations. I thank God every day that this is my job and don't take it lightly. Thank you, listener, lover, learner, lesbian. Now, this is the first comment that cued me in that people were going to be upset. We're going to look at her second one as well. This person says, is she saying her new era is no longer loving the LGBT community, self-love, body positivity, and more? Girl, what? First indication that people were upset. And this is part of it, right? Part of it is that she is no longer this person. This person was everybody's personal clown. I have this joke when people like with black people, like we're not, because a lot of times we're like people's, comic relief. We're not really taken seriously. It's like, oh, we're supposed to be, I'm not your personal clown. I'm not your personal soother. And that's what she was. She was everybody's, oh, make everybody feel good. I know if I just stay overweight, then everybody will feel comfortable with me. That's exactly what it is. What does her losing weight have to do with the LGBTQ community? What does her loving weight have to do with self-love? If anything, taking care of yourself is self-love. Body positivity. If I want to feel positive about my body, I take care of it. That's common sense. But the lie that like the mix up of words, self-love means giving yourself everything you want. No, that's actually called abuse. When parents spoil their children, it's a form of abuse. When they don't tell them no, they don't give them boundaries. It's a form of abuse. It's a form of not setting yourself up for success. It's a lack of boundaries. When you have love, you have boundaries. So this was the first comment that cued me in that something, I was like, okay, these people are going to be upset about this. Um, let me move on to the next one. So that was her first. Then she made this reel. Now she has some foul language on here, but she spray paints buy on the album to that person. Okay. Here's the first comment. She turned her back on the plus size community. I wonder how they're going to take this. It just goes to show that nobody truly wants to be overweight. They either cope with it, accept it, or do something about it. Now, so all the self love was a lie? Do you see how she is being? This is why she stayed overweight for so long, because this is the health ghetto. You have to, in order to love yourself, as we call it love, you have to stay overweight. You have to stay big, even if it means killing yourself, because that's what happens when you are excessively overweight. You are actually killing yourself slowly. All of the self love was a lie? No. I actually care about myself now. And so I'm taking care of my body. That's what true self love is. Next person. The old you is what motivated women to love themselves. Imagine being motivated by a person who kills themselves. But you see, this is the trick. Like this is the kind of language they use. You're motivating us. Motivating you to do what? Precisely. Is she motivating them to take care of their bodies and to be healthy? Because believe it or not, you don't have to be overweight to be to take care of your body and to be body positive. But that's like this whole movement was centered around being unhealthy and being overweight. And now that she's not, now that Lizzo is refusing to align herself with that, here comes the backlash. Makes me kind of sad. That version of Lizzo brought me so much joy and inspiration. Look forward to seeing what you have coming. Yes. Can I tell you guys something about, remember I told you guys about the character? A lot of people who are overweight will tell you this if they're honest. And some people are not honest, so they won't tell you this. But a lot of people who are overweight will tell you that they feel like they have to be a character. They feel like they have to deflect so that people don't talk about their size. They have to feel like they have to be the funny one. Ever notice how the big person is the funny one, or the fun one, or the party, or the whatever, because they want people to not look at their weight. So they come up with this character so that so it distracts everyone from their weight. Now, listen, I'm someone who believes that your weight is the least interesting thing about you. It truly is. Your weight, and what I love about that is that goes for people who are overweight and people who are super fit. Your weight is the least interesting thing about you. That means that your weight really has nothing to do with you as a person, except for the fact that I know you don't respect yourself. Because when you respect yourself, you take care of yourself. So when people say things like, this is the version of you that, brought me so much joy and inspiration. Yeah, you used her and abused her instead of being honest. You said, oh, there's a woman who looks like this, who is she's my distraction. I don't care if she's killing herself. I don't care if she's, because here's the thing. You can first of all, I love the fact that Lizzo plays the flute. She's not like, I don't really listen to secular music, to be honest with you guys, like that. But I like that Lizzo plays the flute. There are so many other things to be inspired by that do not involve her weight. But since they made that her brand and she allowed that to be her brand, this is what you get. Okay, let me read through there's a couple more was a couple more posts that I wanted to see. Oh, of course, where's the body positivity gang? Let me see. There was a couple more that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh yeah, that's Ozempic. You didn't do anything. Also, what a way to switch up on your fans. This is the prison right here that kept her overweight for so long. I said it before that this is what she was afraid of. This is why it took her 5 years to lose the weight, which is why it takes a lot of people 5 years to lose the weight, because this is the prison where people are like, but you're this person for us. You're the fun person. You're the punching bag. You're this person. So don't switch up on us now. You're switching up. And we use that word switch up as if it's a bad thing. Girl, yes, I switched up because I'm saving my life, as I should. This one goes, she turned her back on the plus size community. Oh, that they someone these are spam comments. Oh girl, that era ended years ago. I knew you were gonna try and rebrand as skinnier once getting canceled. I predicted it. First of all, she never got canceled, but this person is correct. 90% of overweight singers, dancers, actresses, I told you guys, Monique, Adele, Lizzo, they make their money thinking that, you know what, this is going to make me happy. I'm going to be a millionaire. And they do, they become millionaires only to go home and look in the mirror and go, wow, I don't respect myself because I'm still not taking care of myself. Even though I have millions of dollars, I don't respect myself. And so they all inevitably lose weight because we think that if I just had more money, if I just had more time, then guess what? Then it wouldn't matter. My weight wouldn't matter. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. She was putting on a character to convince you guys that she was happy. Shameful. People are commenting on her shoe size. When you guys lose weight, you actually your foot gets smaller. um so yeah. So you're a liar. All that self-love about being any size was a scam and you betrayed the plus size community. The plus size community shouldn't be a thing. Plus size used to be, because to me, there's a difference between being obese and being plus size. Plus size is like like I think of like shot putters or like athletic but bigger build people. I'm not talking about people who have up to 40 50% body fat. That's just not healthy. Why is that a community? That's weird. That's unhealthy to me. This one was funny. Please don't tell me you sold your soul to revamp your career. Too late, baby. She sold her soul to make all those millions of dollars as a fat body positivity singer. She's too late. That's what a lot of people don't realize is that was the selling of the soul, which is what led her to this. The selling of the soul was I am going to pretend that I am okay with this body and sell it to you guys for millions and millions of dollars. Deep down inside, I know I'm not happy. I liked this comment. We're going to end on this one. She found the real one. Don't agree on the last one being so bad. She found the real, because to be honest, your healthiest self is the realest version of yourself. And the way that I think about this is kind of like woo woo, but whatever, I don't care. The way I think about this is like, how would you take care of yourself if you were a child? Would you let yourself just like eat into oblivion? Would you lie to your child and say, "You're so amazing," even though I'm stuffing you with all this unhealthy food? Would you tell your child, "Oh, just go be a character for everybody and make that money"? Would you say that to your child? Because when you are when you're very honest with yourself, you tend to improve yourself. People who are not honest do not improve because they think they've got it all figured out. Yep. One more post I want to share with you guys. I want to show you guys the post where she met her weight loss goal. And I want to read some of these comments for you guys. And I'll leave you with a little, I guess, words of wisdom. I don't know. Okay. So she left on the post. I stepped on my scale. I did it. I stepped on the scale, reached my release goal, weight release goal. I haven't seen this number since 2014. Let this be a reminder that you can do anything to put your mind to. Time for new goals. This person said, I've lost 175 pounds, and let me tell you, you become a different human physically and mentally. I'm proud of you. This person says, so being healthy is trending again. Got it. So at the beginning of the video, I said, this is why it's really important to just do what's the healthiest thing to do for you. Because I have now lived through 3 eras of body positivity, or like bodies, okay? I lived through the super thin era of Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and Jessica Simpson. So I was a teenager when that was in, right? Super, super thin. I then lived through the thick era, okay, which was, hip to waist ratio being good, and then body positivity, which were kind of all together. They were kind of mixed together, the body positivity and the hip to waist ratio. Thicker legs were in, like a more, not even athletic build, just thicker body was in. Okay. The pendulum is swinging back because of Ozempic and because of, that's what's being marketed to us. So my hope and prayer is that she's not doing this because of Ozempic, but genuinely because of health. Now, if she is using Ozempic, we don't have the data on how this is going to affect people in 10 years. We know that there are lots and lots and lots of complications still right now, but she's doing it for health reasons. So, okay, good for you. But I've seen us now come back into the skinny era. And it's really important that you don't look to celebrities like Lizzo to dictate what to do with your body. This was a conversation I had with my when I taught health, and I talked to the girls. I taught an all girls health class, and I was explaining to them that I finally realized, because I had lived through this era, right? When I was a teenager, I'm very muscular. I ran track. I have muscles in my legs. It was seen as obscene and disgusting that I had muscular legs. When I was teaching, muscular legs were in, and the girls were just shocked. Oh my gosh, how could people say that was ugly? It's so amazing. I just love it. I just want those legs, blah, blah. And I said, yeah. And I said, in 10 years, skinny's going to be back in. And somebody's going to be like, oh, you look disgusting because you have a thicker body. And so you always have to do what's right for you health wise, because the pendulum's going to swing back and forth, between bigger body positivity, obesity, and then like rail thin. And you just have to find what's comfortable for you. Where do you feel comfortable? I'm going to tell you that healthy is always beautiful. Not super overweight, not super thin. Healthy is always beautiful. So when you're looking, if your goal is like longevity, go for health. What are the habits that I need to embody to be healthy long term? Because that's what's going to matter in the end. You can't rely on your weight to be the thing that sustains you. Now, it will be interesting to see what her album sales do and what her music does now that she's not necessarily a body positivity advocate. Now, in my mind, she could still be one. I mean, she's not like rail thin. She could still be a body positivity role model. But I want to know if people only celebrate you when you're not doing better than them. Because that's my guess, is that because Lizzo still had that thing, she was overweight, people were okay with like celebrating her. But now that she's getting healthy, she's still talented. She can still sing. She can probably sing better than ever now. She's still healthy. She's still talented. I mean, she's still talented. She can still sing. Are you still going to support her, or did you only support her because she was fat? Because you wrong for that, if that was the case. That was, yep. All right, you guys, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. And I wanted to say that it's possible. I know with Lizzo, she claims that she hasn't been doing any Ozempic or any kind of Zepbound or Wegovy or anything like that, which is great for her. Because we do know that there's complications. And the reality is that once you come off, the weight will come back on if you're still using the same coping mechanisms. So even if you are going to use a Wegovy or a Zepbound or you know, Ozempic, you still need to have some coaching to help you deal with the reason why the weight came on in the first place. Because it's not just that you magically started gaining weight. It's usually because there's some emotional stuff going on. So, anyway, you guys, if you're looking for coaching, I do have a coaching app. You can go ahead and download the Fit and Flourishing app in the App Store, and I can offer you coaching there if you are looking to start your weight loss journey. But I will say this, and I said this towards the beginning of the video, that your weight is the least interesting thing about you. Does that mean that you don't need to take care of your body? No, but it is the least interesting thing about you, meaning that you cannot make your whole personality being fat and you cannot make your whole personality being fit. It is annoying. And it's useless because that means you then have to stay fat or stay fit to have value. What a prison. That's not a prison. I've already been in that prison and I'm not interested in that. And I'm not interested in that for you. All right, you guys, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.